Hello everyone, welcome back to the B classes. Today in this class we are going to solve few more important programs based on loop. So for that we need to go to your printed notes and now we are going to solve question number 24. And remember, if you understand how to solve question number 24, then you can solve question number 25, 26, 27 till question number 34. So actually if you solve question number 24, all the following questions till question number 34 are related. It uses the same concept. Only a little modification is required in each program. And this is also a very important program. What I am going to do now in question number 24 is a very important concept and a very important logic which you have to understand, because maximum of the loop questions which you will be getting will be based on this concept. So this concept is very important and you have to learn it. So let us see what is question number 24. So question number 24 is, write a program to input an integer number and print each digit of the number separately. So you have to input a number and print all the digits separately. For example, you have 765. Okay, so it will print 7, then it will print 6, then you have to print 5. So this is called digit separation. This is called digit separation. So now we are going to learn how to separate digits from a given number. For this program, what you have to do, you have to separate the digit and print the digits. This is the best question, you can say. And other question, that is from 25 to 34, you have to separate digits but do different things. We'll see what other things you can do. For now, what we are going to do, separate the digits and print them. For that we need to learn some mathematics. So I have 765. What should I do to this? Like plus, minus, division, multiplication, modulo division, part of Java. You can also do modulo division, so that I will get 5. What I will do, like divide, multiplication, plus, minus, modulo, anything, so that I will get 5. For example, let us divide by 10. So what will happen when you divide by 10? So 765 by 10, you will get 76.5. But in Java, since both are integer, you will not get the point part, you will get only the integer part, that is, you will get 76. So here if we divide by 10, we will get 76. What we'll get if we do modulo division? So 10 into 76 is 760. Remainder is 5. That is nothing but this digit. If you want to extract the first digit from the right hand side, the first digit from the right hand side, then if you do modulo 10, you will get the first digit. Okay, and if you do only division by 10, if you do only divided by 10, then you will get 76. Now taking this 76, again if I do modulo 10, I will get 6. That is nothing but the second digit. And if I do 76 by 10, what I will get? I will get 7. So like this, we can get all the digits 5, 6, 7. So this concept is going to be used in our program. That is, we have to do modulo 10 to get the number and divide by 10 to delete the number. I will let you know what do I mean by this. So take the same number again, 765. So our job is to get 5, 6 and 7, all the digits, and then print them. Separate the digits and print them. So remember, first we'll get the digit. To get the digit, we have to do modulo 10. So after your work is done, now you have already got 5, means your work is done. We have to delete that number. That is, you have to delete 5. How to delete? To delete, we have to do 7 765 by 10. If we do 765 by 10, we'll get 76. So automatically 5 is deleted. So first you have to do modulo 10 to get the number, then by 10, delete the number. Again you have to do modulo 10 to get the next number, by 10 to delete the number. Again modulo 10 to get the next number, by 10 to delete the number. You have to do this process, modulo division, division, modulo division, division, modulo division, division, continuously till you are left with 0. That is nothing. When everything is deleted, all the digits are deleted, what will remain at the end? 0. So what you are doing? Modulo division, division, modulo division, division, modulo division, division. You are going to repeat it. If you are repeating the same thing, 1, 2, 3. In this case, you are repeating the things for 3 times. For that, we need to use a loop. So you have 765 modulo 10. You got 5. Then you will do 765 by 10. This will do what? This will delete the 5. And your answer will be 76. So now your new number is 76. Next time what you are going to do? Take this 76 and again do modulo 10. You will get 6. And to 76 we will do by 10. So this will delete 6. So your new number will be 7. Again 7 modulo 10. What you will get? You will get 7. And 7 by 10. You will get 0.7 means 0. You will not get point. 0 means nothing is left. Now your program will stop. So if you can see, we got 5, we got 6 and we got 7. We got all the 3 digits. So now what we are going to do is write a Java program to do this thing. So let us write. So I'll write class C chapter 6 question number 24 public void DNM. I will take a number and for that number we are going to extract the digits and print them. So for digit extraction we can use for, you can use while, you can use do while, but for this we are going to prefer while. Even in the books you will see that these types of program, digit separation programs, will be done in while. But if you want, you can do in for and do while also. But while is most preferred because it feels easy. So we'll be using while. While n is greater than 0. While n is greater than 0. In D, I am going to get the digits. N modulo 10. Modulo 10 gives you the digit. This is to extract the digit. And then our job is to print it. System.out.println D. That is a program. You have to print the digit. And after you have done, you extract the digit, you printed it. Means the work of the digit is over. After the work is over, your next job is to delete that digit. That is n equal to n by 10. And your new number will be that number after deleting the digit. So your new number will again be stored in n. This is delete the digit. And this one you can say use the digit. So in digit based program, it will be divided into 3 important parts: extraction of digit, use of the digit, and delete the digit. Okay, in all the digit based programs. So now we'll declare all the variables. Int d, n is already declared. Let us run and check if we are getting the answer. Then I'll explain you what I have done in this program. See, 5, 6, 7, we are getting all the digits separated. Now let us run this program manually. So for example, the user gave the input as 723. So for example, the user gave the input 1423. Okay, and you have to separate the digit and print them. While n greater than 0, n is the number. While it is greater than 0 means if it has become 0 means when all the digits are used, it will become 0. I have already told you. So do you need to extract more? No. So we will be extracting digits till the number is not 0. Once it becomes 0, we can stop extracting the digits. So we will be extracting digits till n is greater than 0. In D we are going to extract the digit. N modulo 10. D equal to n. What is n? 1423 divided by 10 modulo. So you will get 3. You will get 3. System order println 3. So it will print 3. N equal to n by 10. N by 10. What is n? 1423 by 10. So you will get the answer as 142. So your new n value is 142. So next time it is going to check 142 greater than 0. So here n is the number and also the loop variable. See, n is in installation, n is in test condition, and n is in updation. So it is a complete loop also. And remember, this is fixed. Input the number, n greater than 0, extract and delete. Only this thing is going to change. Use of the digit. Here it has asked you to print. In other programs, it may have asked to do other things. We'll see what other things we can do. So now n is 142 greater than 0, true. 142 modulo 10. 142 modulo 10. You will get 2. It will print 2. So what is 142 by 10? 142 by 10 is 14. Again 14 greater than 0. Yes, 14 modulo 10. 4. It will print 4. 14 by 10. You will get 1. 1 greater than 0. True. 1 modulo 10. 1. It will print 1. 1 by 10 is 0. 0 greater than 0. False. Since n becomes 0, you don't have to continue because you have printed all the digits. You have printed 3, 2, 4 and 1. All the 4 digits. Clear? Now this concept is going to be used in question number 25 to 34. Only with little bit of modification. So let us check few more programs based on digit extractions. So if you go to question number 25, the program is write a program to input an integer number and print sum of all the digits of the number. So here what you have to do? You have to sum of all digits. Sum of all digits. That is add all the digits. So the program will remain same. Input the number, while n greater than 0, extract it, delete it. Only the use is going to change. In the previous program, it asked you to print the digit. Here it is asking you to add the digit. So instead of print statement, you have to do what? You have to add. Let it be in the variable sum. Sum equal to sum plus d. So first, if you take 1, 4, 2, 3, first 3 will come. In the sum, for example, in the starting it is 0. Nothing is there. 0 plus 3, 3 comes. Then 2 will come. 3 plus 2, 5. Then 4 will come. 5 plus 4, 9. Then 1 will come. You will get the final answer as 10. And finally, what you have to do? After completing everything, you will print the final answer. System.out.println sum. Let n equal to 421. So 421 by 10, you will get 1. Sum equal to sum plus d. 0 plus 1. So in sum you have 1 now. 421 by 10, you will get 42. So again 42 by 10, you will get 2. Sum plus 2. In sum already 1 is there, plus 2. You will get 3. Now 42 by 10. 42 by 10 is 4. In n, now you have 4. 4 greater than 0, true. 4 modulo 10, you will get 4. Sum plus 4. That is 3 plus 4. You will get 7. Now 4 by 10, 0. In n you have 0. That is nothing. 0 greater than 0, false. So it will come out and it will print the sum. That is, it will print 7. Understood? So like this you have to do the rest of the questions. So in question number 26, it has asked you to check if it is Armstrong number or not. And also in the same question, there is another question. There are 2 bits in question number 26. Automorphic number or not. It is based on digit extraction. The only thing I am going to tell you is what is Armstrong and what is automorphic number. So what is Armstrong number? So I'll just let you know what is Armstrong number and automorphic number, and I want you to try it. Even if it is wrong, it is fine. I'll give you the answer in the next class. So what is Armstrong number? 153 is example of an Armstrong number. Why? Because if you extract the digit, it will be 153, and find the cube of these digits. 1 cube, 5 cube, 3 cube, and add those. So that is nothing but sum of cube of the digits. The number you have inputted. For example, you have inputted 153. And what you do? Extract the digit, find the cube, and add them. So what you will get? 1 plus 125 plus 27. That is nothing but 153. So it is matching with the original number. Therefore, we can say that 153 is an Armstrong number. For example, if someone takes 111, it will be 1 cube plus 1 cube plus 1 cube. We'll get 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. Is 3 equal to 111? No. So 111 is not an Armstrong number. So you have to extract the digit, find the cube, and then add it. If after adding the sum is equal to the original number, then we can say that it is an Armstrong number. And what is automorphic? 5 is an automorphic number. Why? If you do 5 square, what you will get? 25. At the end, 5 is present. So it is automorphic. 25. 25 is also an example of automorphic. How? 25 square, 625. At the end, 25 is present. So, automorphic number. 6 is also an automorphic number, because 6 square is 36 and 6 is present at the end. So it is automorphic. Okay, let us check if 9 is an automorphic or not. 9 square is 81. Is 9 present at the end? No, 1 is present. So it is not an automorphic number. So understood what is Armstrong and automorphic? Just try it. Just think how I can solve it. But remember, same thing. N greater than 0 in while loop. Extract the digit. Then you have to think how I can use it. And then delete the digit. Like this you have to do all the programs. If you are not able to do, don't worry. I am going to give you the answer in the next class. So in question number 27, that is the next question. It is asking, write a program to input an integer number and generate and print the reverse number of it. Now this is another important program. That is reverse. Here we are going to extract the digit, that is fine. But after extracting, you are going to reverse it. You have to reverse a number. For example, if it is 123, your answer will be 321. Your answer will be 321. So let us write a program for this. So this is question number 25, which I had solved previously. That is, extract the digit, add them, and after adding, finally we have to print them. But here we are going to reverse it. Here the use of the digit is we are going to reverse it. So you have to do just one simple modification. Instead of sum equal to sum plus d, write sum equal to sum into 10 plus d. Sum equal to sum into 10 plus d. Your program is done. And your program is done. In question number 25, the program, you have written sum equal to sum plus d. Just write sum equal to sum into 10 plus d. Now I'll explain you how it is working. So we have 123. So 123 modulo 10, in d you will get 3. Sum is 0. 0 into 10 is 0 plus 3. So in sum you will get 3. N equal to n by 10. 3 is deleted. Next time 2 will be extracted. In sum 3 is there. 3 into 10 is 30 plus 2. What is it? 32. N by 10, that is 12 by 10, you will get 1, 2 is deleted. Now 1 modulo 10, you'll get 1. In sum, 32 is there. 32 into 10, 320 plus 1. Answer is 321. 1 by 10, 0. Loop is over. Now it will print the sum, that is 321. So what happened? The actual number was 123, but now the new number is 321. Very simple. Just multiply into 10. The same program as question number 25, but in sum equal to sum plus d was written. Here sum equal to sum into 10 plus d, and the program is done. Actually in this program you are using mathematics, that is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Actually we are using this concept. Okay, if you remember, you are actually using this concept. I'm not going to go into details what these concepts are. Okay, but actually we are using this concept to get this answer. You don't have to remember much. Just remember question number 25, how to add number, sum equal to sum plus d. It is easy how to add the digits. Instead of writing sum equal to sum plus d, you have to write sum equal to sum into 10 plus d, and your program is done. Now let us run this program and check if you are getting the correct answer. 123, see, you are getting 321. So simple. So next is question number 28. Write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is palindrome or not. So what is palindrome? 121 is palindrome. Why? What will happen if you reverse 121? You will get same 121. So after reversing a number, if you are getting the original number, then that is known as palindrome. For example, 323. If you reverse it, you will get 323 only. So again it is palindrome. For example, 123. If you reverse it, you will get 321 in the previous case. Are those two matching? No. So it is not palindrome. So how to do palindrome program? There is the number you already have. You know how to reverse it. Reverse it. Then check if the number you have reversed is equal to the original number. If it is same, it is palindrome. If it is not same, it is not a palindrome. So in question number 29, it has asked you to input an integer number and check whether it is pal prime or not. So what is actually pal prime? You know both the things. Pal prime is nothing but palindrome and prime. If a number is palindrome and also prime, then it is a pal prime. For example, 131. So 131 is palindrome because if you reverse it, you will again get 131. And 131 also prime. You know what is prime number? A prime number is a number which have only two factors, that is 1 and itself. So take 131, check if it is palindrome or not. Take 131 and check if it is prime or not. If both are okay, means it is palindrome and also it is prime, then we can say it is pal prime. You know how to write palindrome program, explained you. You know how to write prime program, which we already discussed in previous classes. Combine both the programs and you will get the pal prime program. So next is question number 30. Write a program to find the factorial of an integer number. Okay, this program is not based on digit separation. It is little different. So what is factorial? For example, 5 factorial. Factorial is denoted by exclamation mark. So 5 factorial, if someone writes 5 exclamation, this means it is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. That is 120. If you multiply everything, you will get 120. What is 2 factorial? It is 1 into 2. What is 100 factorial? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 like this till 100. So this is called factorial. So you have to think, okay, this is your job. You have to think how I can multiply and find factorial. For example, for 7, so you have to start multiplying from 1 till 7. Just think how you can do it. It is very easy. Okay, it is very easy. You just have to use your mind. Next is question number 31. Skip this question. Okay, This is not even part of your assignment. Skip question number 31 for now. And the next three questions, that is 32, 33, 34, is based on digit extraction. Okay, only 30, 31 is not based. 30 is factorial. I explained you what is factorial. 31, skip the question. You don't have to do question number 31. And 32, 33, 34 are based on digit extraction. And you have to use your mind how you can solve it. In the next class, I am going to give you the answers. So this much for today. So now your next assignment will be from question number 24, which I have already solved, but still solve it again, to question number 34, except question number 31. Don't solve question number 31. Okay, from question number 24 to question number 34, you have to solve these questions. From question number 35 onwards, again I am going to explain in the next class. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.